rather than looking at the matter but looking at around the matter, you actually see a whole different form, which actually gives definition to that specific matter. That's right, you actually see a baby, don't you? This is how I would define, and of course in art they call it negative space. So the work at looking at the blood wasn't necessarily focusing all of my attention on the cells, or how many cells for that matter, whether I was looking at red blood cells or white blood cells, but what was the environment in which those cells lived? Let me just share with you some facts here. Japanese people eat very little fat and have fewer heart attacks than Americans. Mexicans eat a lot of fat and have fewer heart attacks than Americans. Chinese drink very little red wine and have fewer heart attacks than Americans. Italians drink a lot of red wine and have fewer heart attacks than Americans. Germans drink a lot of beer, eat sausage, but suffer fewer heart attacks than Americans. Conclusion? Eat and drink whatever you like. Being American is what kills you. Now, we know that's not true. But, you know, when I'm reading some of the conclusions of scientific research, sometimes it feels like that. A few years ago, I was honored by Dr. Lawrence Carter, who is the protege of Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King turned over the reins to Dr. Carter, and I met him because he found the pH miracle. He was challenged with prostate cancer, and one of the other challenges that affects a lot of Americans, and that's acid reflux. He was amazed at how quickly his acid reflux was resolved, and he had no idea it was going to help him resolve his prostate cancer's challenge. Here you see Shelley and I with Dr. Carter, and I love this picture because we're standing in front of Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Ikeda, who all stood for ending segregation, bigotry, and I think this is all important. In fact, Dr. Carter said to me, which I was quite surprised when he was saying it, and I asked for clarification. He said, Dr. Young, you're going to save my people. And I said, what? I said, what do you mean by that? And he says, well, you are the Martin Luther King of the 21st century. You're going to save my people from soul food. And I said to him, I said, well, what is soul food? He said, well, soul food is food that's not good for the body. I guess it's good for the soul or the spirit, but not good for the body. Well, he has a wonderful sense of humor, just an incredible man. We were honored to be there and to be honored with others at an event where he brought us into this intellectual group of scientists. Okay, so here's some pH miracle secret questions. What is a pH miracle? What is a pH miracle secret? What is the pH miracle secret for sugar cravings? What is the pH miracle secret for all sickness and disease? What is the secret for weight gain or weight loss? And what is the secret for a healthy and a fit body? So we're going to answer some of these. So here is probably the most important thing I would perceive that I've concluded after 25 years of research, and that's two very important statements here. And the first one is the human organism is alkaline by design, and the second important point here is but acidic by function. So alkaline by design, acidic by function. So eating, thinking, breathing are all acidic functions of the body. They all produce acids which can make us sick and tired. But the body does everything it can to maintain that alkaline design at a very delicate pH balance of 7.365. If we will maintain this alkaline design of our body through an alkaline lifestyle and diet, I believe, and I've seen this happen over and over again, that we not only can prevent, but we can reverse just about all sickness and disease. For the cure for all disease will not necessarily be found in its treatment, but will be found in its prevention. A pH miracle is a natural phenomenon that is not currently understood by medical savants in the cause and effect relationship. So here we look then at this cause and effect relationship. In our choices, there are specific consequences. And what I have determined through my research is that there are 7, rather than diseases, there are 7 levels of acidosis. The first level of acidosis that we experience in our body is sensitivities. The second is irritation. The third is catarrh, or mucus buildup, and the body's attempt to mediate excess acidity. It makes this sticky, gooey stuff. The fourth stage of acidosis is inflammation. The fifth stage is induration. The sixth stage is ulceration. And the last stage is degeneration. In all of these stages, there are specific symptoms that then are expressed. So the foundational theory is that all sickness and disease is a state of overacidity that's brought on through lifestyle and dietary choices. So these are the effects, from sensitivities to degenerations, from all acidity caused by lifestyle and dietary choices. Any pain that we would feel in the body is a localized condition of acidity that wasn't properly eliminated through the 4 channels of elimination: urination, perspiration, respiration, or defecation. These are the 4 channels. If the blood cannot purify itself from the acids of diet or metabolism, these acids are then thrown out into the tissues or into the fatty tissues, which then express specific symptomologies that medical science calls disease. Disease is in reality then just a dis-ease or an inability of the body to remove its own waste products through the 4 channels of elimination. It is a crisis of toxemia, or a buildup of acidity, which I refer to as latent tissue acidosis. Latent tissue acidosis is the body is uptaking the toxins that are not properly being eliminated in order to purify the blood. For the blood needs to be purified with a very small range in its pH between 7.35 to 7.45, will always eliminate the acidity out into the tissues, specifically into what I call the acid catchers, which are the connective tissues. And even the muscles, where we feel a lot of this acidity when we overexercise. We've all felt the acid of overexercising. That acid being lactic acid. If the body cannot eliminate that through perspiration, then we feel, or through urination, we feel those acids in the form of pain. And that's why I say acid equals pain, or pain equals acid. You cannot have a pain or a sensitivity or an ulceration or a degeneration without an accompanying acid. This is an important principle to understand as we look at conditions such as MS, such as Parkinson's, or Alzheimer's, or cancer of any type, or even allergies, which is a lower on the scale of latent tissue acidosis. So the key, what the body naturally tries to do, is maintain this balance of life, or homeostasis. I call it the teeter-totter effect. Biochemically, it's trying to balance dietary acids and metabolic acids with its alkaline reserves. One of the major buffers in the human body is sodium bicarbonate. It happens to be probably the most powerful compound, sodium bicarbonate, which the body is continually making in order to maintain its alkaline design, is simple sodium bicarbonate, or baking soda. It's very, very important. The major organ that produces this compound is the stomach. So I've redefined digestion as an alkaline buffering system, with the stomach's major purpose is not to digest food, but to alkalize the food that we're ingesting. As we realize that for every molecule of hydrochloric acid that's being produced in the stomach, an equal amount, or a molecule of sodium bicarbonate, is also produced. This sodium bicarbonate is produced to maintain alkalinity and to raise alkalinity of the food before it's presented in the small intestine. In this teeter-totter effect, I've set then the 4 food groups, and I've defined them as what I call the COWS program. COWS is an acronym for chlorophyll, oil, water, and salt. These are the 4 essential foods that one needs